I'm Ian McNabb and welcome to Revival TV. We're here for the massive launch of Revival in Scotland at Victoria's nightclub, and what a lineup we have for you tonight. We've got DJ Floorfiller flying all the way from Italy, making his UK debut at the club. We've also got two live PAs in the forms of Roberta Childs and Princess Paragon. We've got a very special back-to-back with Joe Deacon and Billy Reid doing a Metro Revival set. We've also got Noble Bonkers Whitelaw, who was a Bonkers resident for 13 years, who will be playing all the hits tonight. We've also got a very special set from DJ MC Madman, who's going to be playing tribute to the legend that is Tom Wilson.
Put your hands up in the air.
We're here with our main headliner of the night. If he's no introduction, DJ Seller, aka Floorfiller. Now we've got 1,000 people downstairs waiting to see you play in Scotland for the very first time in the UK. Can you explain in words what that means to you?
It's great because it's the only country I've never played, and my first impression of Scotland is absolutely a crazy place, strange people, so I love it.
Obviously you've got so many anthems, and we use the word anthem in Glasgow, but what sort of music are you planning to play to the Glasgow crowd tonight?
Basically old and powerful stuff. Not only my profile music, but also a lot of classics. So I ripped a lot of vinyls from my collection just for you guys.
Obviously you're a world-renowned DJ. What sort of things have you been doing in other clubs? What sort of massive gigs have you got coming up?
Recently I focused on DJing and building my own club events in Italy. Very successful ones, even with partners like Benny Benassi, which is one of my friends. But I recently restarted my production activity, so we have a lot of new songs coming out, both in dance music, of course, like 145 BPMs, stuff like that, and slower stuff, more electric.
Right, I'm here with Noble Bonkers Whitelaw, who was a resident for Bonkers for an amazing 13 years. Now, can you explain to the guys what it's like being a resident in one of the busiest, most notorious clubs in Glasgow for so many years, every Friday and Saturday night.
At the time, it was a total pleasure. It was a pleasure going to work every week. It was just a great atmosphere. It was something to look forward to. Everybody loved coming. It was just a great party atmosphere. It was actually a wee bit ahead of its time, and it's not actually until you leave it that you realise how much you miss it. It was just a pure privilege.
And one thing that obviously you always hear about certain things that happens in clubs and sort of things like that. Is it true actually that you were that busy in the decks and people kept coming up to you, actually had a sign you had to show up to actually tell people you were working?
Well, a good friend of mine, Davy Campbell, who the two of us played back to back for as many years as I can remember, we actually ended up making a sign because you get interrupted that often. It was actually "fuck off, I'm mixing." It was on the end of the pole. And yeah, it's true.
Obviously you mentioned Davy Campbell there, who obviously the two of you done back to back every single Friday and Saturday in Bonkers. For yourself, what sort of things did you do after obviously you left the club? What sort of residencies did you have?
It was actually hard to get a bit of a high after the experiences of Bonkers, but to be honest, I've actually done quite a few good residencies, whether it be Revolution in Edinburgh, Enigma, Stirling and Dundee, the Boulevard over in Clydebank. Things have actually been really good for me, so I can't really complain too much.
Right, it's an absolute crazy crowd outside, and I've just managed to grab a word with McVeigh and Rushy. Now, you've seen the crowd outside. How does that compare to back in the day when you were residents at Archaos?
It kind of makes me feel like I'm actually back in Archaos. I felt like I was walking down Queen Street when I walked up to come in, so it was a big crazy crowd outside, so it's going to be kicking tonight and I'm really looking forward to it.
Obviously, you are in room 2, you are going to be finishing the night, the two of you, from 2 till 3. Is there any sort of cheeky tracks or anything you've got up your sleeve that you're going to be playing tonight?
Shit, man, we've put it on Facebook, we've had it on the internet all week. We've got Raver Baby, Attention Angels, bits and pieces. There's like 7.9 million tracks that we could possibly play at the end of the night, so it just brings us back to the days when we used to be residents in Archaos. So it's trying to, we need to feel the crowd, because obviously VJ Freer, who's a resident with us as well, he's playing before us, so we need to see what he plays, but it's going to be special, that's all we can say. MC Loco's coming up to MC for us as well, so he never actually experienced the Archaos vibe, so he'll get a big surprise since he's with Fife, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And just one quick question, Rush, can you name one song that really defined the era back in Archaos, a song that you used to love week on week, and it obviously got the crowd going?
Well, I know me and Mark never used to, like, obviously we played UK hardcore at the end before it closed down, but with word of mouth, it's got to be Raver Baby, so we're going to bring that in at the end, I think. Yeah. It's got to be Raver Baby, definitely.
Is this an exclusive?
Scratching, of course, for myself, you know.
Right, you've heard it first here for Revival TV. Last song of the night is going to be
Raver
Baby.
just here with Roberta Child just now. How's it going, Roberta? How are you?
Brilliant, thank you, absolutely great.
Perfect. Now, one thing, obviously, that you're just after perform downstairs. How was it for yourself, first of all?
It was absolutely crazy, the crowd was amazing. Everybody was just so happy to be there, I was happy to be here. The crowd were so up for it was brilliant.
There was one thing I noticed with watching you perform as well. Obviously, everyone was here to hear that iconic track in Glasgow. Obviously, you had a massive hit with that track, Dreams. Obviously, Trevor Riley done a mix of it, and that is, myself, one of my most iconic tracks, and it still gets played just now. What's it like actually having a chart hit in your home country?
It's amazing because, you know, the Scottish people always get so behind you, you know, when they love something, especially if you're one of their own as well, they just go mad for it. And it was just, when that song did so well, I was just so proud and loved being part of it, and the kind of, you know, the way it's went down as a kind of anthem. I just love that I'm part of that, and everybody still loves it and I still love it.
There's one thing as well, what a lot of people do talk about when such a big hit comes out. How did you cope as a person more than anything? Because obviously you're going from obviously being a vocalist and sort of things like that to boom, this big thing. How did you cope with it?
It was crazy, and you know, I was a lot younger, even though I'm obviously quite young just now still, but I was a lot younger, and kind of when you're in that situation, you just kind of, you're so busy and stuff, you get just swept up in it, you don't have time to think about it, and it's not actually till further years down the line that you think, oh my god, what happened, and that was great, and I wish I'd enjoyed it more at the time, so, but it was fantastic.